All right. So the speaking test of IGCSE 0510 um, is basically based on four parts, and you'll be given a prompt to speak on. All right. But before you actually speak on the prompt and the questions related to it, once you go in the exam setting, I'll just explain how it's sort of conducted, one-on-one with the examiner. All right. So part A would be a welcome introduction where you're gonna just talk to the examiner. They'll ask your name, your introduction, right? You can even have a conversation with them. You can talk to them. You can ask questions as well. Part B is basically warm up, where the examiner would be asking questions as in about your interests, your hobbies, what you do generally, right? That's just to maybe familiarize with the conversation, with their speaking style and everything. And then part C is basically the preparation period of 2 to 3 minutes in which you'll be given one of the prompts. All right. They will have a set of prompts and they'll just pick up one and they'll provide that prompt to you and you will have like a few minutes to read the theme of the conversation and the follow-up, like five questions following that major theme. In this preparation period, you will obviously not be allowed to take any notes, but you can ask questions about the content, about any technical detail that you're not able to understand about the prompt itself. Okay. And obviously, you can collect thoughts in this period as well because you're going to be talking about that particular idea with the examiner. So it's important that you know what you'll be speaking. You should have your thoughts collected before you get into the conversation. And the last part is an assessed conversation of 6 to 9 minutes in which you'll be talking about the prompt, and the examiner would be sort of recording the entire conversation. And this is basically the transcript that's externally assessed. इससे पहले वाला everything part A, B, C, they're not assessed, but this part D is an assessed conversation. This entire exam is of 10 to 15 minutes. Okay. Now, in the warm-up, again, um, you'll be asked questions about your hobbies and interests on any general topic for that matter. For the preparation period, one of the assessment cards will be selected again, and you will be given 2 to 3 minutes to prepare. Any necessary questions can be asked at this point in time, any explanation that you require on the content of the assessment topic, or for that matter, any meanings that you're sort of looking for. You can ask questions from the examiner at this point. Again, you cannot take any notes, and you will be allowed to keep that assessment card for the rest of the exam for the 10 to 15 minutes, but you'll have to return it once you leave after the exam. This is the structure criteria. You are assessed on assessment criteria, sorry, you're assessed on structure, vocabulary, development, and fluency. Now, structure is basically how your conversation is organized. This means that you see, whatever you speak, whatever you, even in a normal conversation in your daily life, you follow a specific structure to it. You sort of have some sort of organization to what you do, what you talk. For example, if I, let's say, ask you to even let's take, for example, a very basic example. If let's say you're trying to convince your parents to go out somewhere. Now, just this conversation that you'll have with your parents, it's gonna follow a specific organization, right? For example, if you go to your parents, you'll tell them that you this is like this is your holiday period and you want to go there. You're gonna talk about the places. You'll be discussing about the friends that are joining you, and then you'll ask for their permission. So this is a very specific organization that follows in this particular conversation. So every conversation has a structure, has a proper sequence, and this is basically when you collect your thoughts. In this 2 to 3 minutes time period that you have for preparation, it's important that you have your thoughts collected because otherwise you'll just be speaking phrases and sentences without any clarity and organization. All right, so this structure is very important. Number two is vocabulary. There are 10 marks again for the vocabulary. This basically means the choice of words that you use in your conversation. Are you using plain, simple words? Are you using proper synonyms, right? There are multiple ways of speaking a sentence. For example, if I tell you a sentence goes like, I like teaching. Now, I like teaching is one way of saying a sentence. If I rephrase it to I'm fond of teaching, now this is another way. I'm fond of teaching sort of uses another vocabulary for like, and it sort of is synonymous to the same sentence, but in a different vocabulary. So the choice of vocabulary that you use, the choice of words that you use, it's important that you don't repeat your words again and again. Use a different set of words for different meanings, and obviously try to jump on these different synonyms. All right. This variety is very important. And the last bit is development and fluency. Development and fluency refers to how well you're speaking. It refers to the style of speaking. Are you able to, are you like just throwing out sentences? Are you able to explain your sentences? Are you getting stuck up? Are you like, are you clear in what you're saying? I mean, you see, when you talk, the other person can clearly tell, is it exactly what you're thinking? I mean, are you able to portray your thoughts in words? Are you able to sort of translate the idea that you had in your mind into this tangible, into an intangible conversation? So it any obviously the examiners, because they're the experts in the fields, they clearly they can judge you on your phrases, whether you're able to translate your thoughts or no. So this refers to developing fluency. All right. And any questions so far?
Yes. Can we go back to the top one?
The first one?
Yes. Okay, so the welcome and introduction and the warm-up period, will these be like sort of assessed, or
No.
is the assessed conversation the only part? Okay.
Yeah, this as
But
conversation
the
starts
examiner,
after the preparation period.
okay, but the examiner will get like a feel of like my
Yeah.
personality and how well I can
Yes, yes.
perform in a conversation and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Because you obviously when you start talking, they're gonna I mean, even if they're not assessing you, it's a human habit that you develop the sort of imagery of the next person. You try to make um not judgments. I think judgment would be a very strong word. You make inferences about the other's personality, right? Based on just the initial conversation that you have. So yeah, that's very natural.
So how should I like introduce myself?
I mean, you can just tell that you can tell your name, you can tell where you live, you can tell about your curriculum, you're taking English IGCSE second language, you can talk about the other subjects, then you can talk about what you want to be when you grow up, because this is the most relevant conversation that you can have. These are my subjects, and I want to pursue this career, and I'm studying in this school, this is what I do after school. I think this is all that you can tell.
Okay.
Now, the assessed conversation is basically, again, based on the 5 rounds of speaking assessment card. And the examiner is going to use the prompts, the questions in an order that they appear on the card. I'll just show you the card right after this presentation. Um, can the examiners, they can ask additional questions as well. So it's not like the questions that are there on the prompt, they'll just be asking those. They can ask additional questions based on your responses, because this is a conversation. Conversation can take any flow. I mean, you cannot restrict what you're talking about. So it really depends on the conversation that you have, right? Yeah, I mean, it's very possible that the questions that are there on the prompt, you might already be answering them in what you're in your initial conversation, but the examiner, so they have this flexibility to alter the questions to add additional questions, but generally the questions on the prompt are basically what all of it will be based on, to give you an idea that this is the type of question, this is the scope of conversation that you're going to be having. Um, yeah, so equal amount of time on each prompt, on each question. Yeah, so you can uh I mean, they're gonna make sure that you spend equal amount of time, all right? And this is going to be a discussion. They're not going to let you speak in a monotonous way, in form of monologue. This is a conversation, this is a discussion, right? So they're going to keep interrupting you, asking questions, and you can also ask questions, because this is a two-way conversation. And very important thing, there are no right or wrong answers. This is what they tell to the examiners, okay? That there is no right or wrong answer. They're going to be judging you on the style of speaking, not on the content that you speak. Obviously, you have to be very careful with whatever you're speaking, but again, The major point of speaking assessment is to see how you speak, not what you speak. Okay. Any questions now?
Like when we're preparing for the actual conversation, do I ask questions or do I just read the prompts and see what I can come up with?
It's better to collect your thoughts in the preparation period, but again, do ask questions if there's anything that you're not able to understand. If there's a question that you're not able to comprehend, you can ask them for an explanation on that. It's important that you have a clear idea of what the questions are.
Okay, and for the actual assessed period, am I still having a conversation or am I just talking about it? Like when they're interested about something and do the other person ask just a one, two questions in between?
They can ask questions in between. Yes. Because you see, here's the prompt, right? So now, if these are all the questions following it, um, you can, they're going to see if you're covering these. If no, then they'll ask questions. And they can obviously change the questions as well. So this is the first prompt, and it says after lessons finish, some students take part in organized activities such as sports or music. Discuss this topic with the exam. So now your theme is activities such as sports or music after school. Use the following prompts in the order given below to develop a conversation. An activity that you or your friends take part in after school and what happens. An after school activity that you would like to do and why. The advantages and disadvantages of doing after school activities every day. Whether schools should make all young people do a sports activity when lessons finish. The idea that in the future young people will only be interested in doing online after school activities. You may introduce related ideas of your own to expand on these prompts. Remember, you're not allowed to make any written notes. Okay. So this is the scope of the conversation. I'll give you 2 minutes to quickly read this again and see what you can come up with. If there's any question about the prompt, you can ask. And in general, just try to understand what the scope of the conversation will be.
Okay, so this is like not a question I would ask the examiner, but I
Mhm.
don't have any after school activities because I don't go to school and I'm living in Gavada right now because my father is posted here and there's nothing I do that's outside of like my home. It's just the beach.
Hmm. So what you can now, in order to frame a conversation, you can, number one, tell this, that this is the detail. And then you can say, I take online classes, and after my learning finishes, I go to the beach. Create a conversation. Even if you don't.
Okay, can I make stuff up?
Yeah, you can, of course. Yeah. Even
Okay.
if, let's say, I mean, it's gonna be just be very natural. If you refer to this detail that you don't, you're not taking any in-person school, and there's nothing much for you to do after school, so you can just say, this is my detail, and I take online classes, and I go to the beach, I make sandcastles, I walk around, I watch sunsets, right? There's a lot that you can build up on just one detail. But obviously, it has to
Okay.
be, it should look real. Okay, now you cannot say like I go camping every day. But just for example, so detail has to
No,
be
but I actually live right next to the beach, so I can go there every day.
uh-huh. Okay, perfect. Then you can. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So if we okay, but we're gonna practice the second prompt. You see, there are multiple prompts in one paper, and it's just I mean, they'll just pick up one of these. Now, this one over here is on playing games. Most children love playing games either with other children or their parents. Your favorite game as a child or what it was like and what it was like, whether you enjoy playing games even if you won't win, the advantages and disadvantages of playing team games, the idea that playing games should be part of every lesson, the view that in the future children will only play computer games, and then obviously related ideas. This is another topic. This one is about um, online and offline gaming. Majorly, it's about outdoor games that you play with your friends. Um, इसी तरह से one more prompt, for example, we'll just go through this. The entertainment industry. People and companies who work in film, TV, theater, and music are all part of the entertainment industry. Use the following prompts. The types of entertainment that you enjoy and why. The time when you or someone you know went to see the live entertainment and what happened. The benefits and challenges of being a famous actor or a musician. The view that performers cannot be really successful without people such as makeup artists and lighting technicians. Suggestion that entertainment in the future will only be digital or virtual. Let's stick to this one and let's sort of practice this as a speaking prompt. Okay. So we're gonna go through this entire process once as a class assessment. We do have like 15 minutes right now until the class time ends. I am giving you this time to, we're gonna take this time to sort of run this entire system here. I want you to, let's say, if you are there in front of the examiner, I want you to maybe tell me something about your interests and hobbies here before we get into this prompt.
Okay, so I like working out at home. I
Huh?
like reading.
Right.
Should I say it like in a casual manner or should I just list things off?
In a casual manner, because this is just a brief introduction.
Okay, so recently I've developed an interest in working out at home. I follow a YouTube channel and I just do some light cardio. So
Right.
I have a reading habit since I like
What type of
joined
books do you read?
mostly fiction.
Mm-hmm.
But recently, since I entered like high school, I've been giving some reading material from school as well. So I mostly develop on that. See, pick a novel and then just read the other parts of it series.
Right. Interesting. Did you name like favorite novel of yours or a recent read?
The Murder at Feet House. It was a really
Uh-huh.
good read. I finished
Interesting.
it a few weeks ago.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to give you like 2 to 3 minutes to prepare. Here's the prompt. You can go through this in detail. You can collect your thoughts, and then we'll have a conversation.
Okay.
All right. Um, Shall we start? Okay, so this entire prompt, as you've read, is about the entertainment industry, and they're basically talking about how there are different forms of entertainment, and people who are into pop culture, they actually take most of these different types of entertainment. So I want to ask what types of entertainment are that you enjoy, and your reasons for that. Korea, you can continue.
All right. I like listening to music. Most of
Mm-hmm.
the time, the music I listen to is not from original artists, but like rather mixes and sped up versions of the original songs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't particularly enjoy theater because I'm not like a person to go see a musical or enjoy songs or not songs, but like real life performances. Um,
So
I like
why is it that you don't like visiting performances and seeing your performers perform live?
because obviously I know there's a difference between um the like a musical and the thing I'm referring to, but I went to a live performance before. It
Mm-hmm.
was like a Flying Dervish one, and
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a bit too well it dragged on for too long, so
Right,
that's why.
right. I mean, yeah, that is one of the disadvantages of attending a live performance. So have you ever thought of yourself in the shoe of favorite performer that you like? Have you maybe ever thought of being a musician?
I mean, sure, when you see like an inspirational post or see the movie of how somebody became a performer, you get like, um, you get like, you feel like you want to be like that person too, but it doesn't last for long.
Hmm.
I just
Hmm.
don't, I feel like there are more, um, I just don't think that it's like a profession that can guarantee you a nice life. It's like, it's really risky to
Is
go
it
into one of
the
these
is it the
professions.
fame you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the irregularity because sometimes their work gets noticed, sometimes it doesn't. Like it depends. It doesn't just depend on them, right? Their
Yeah.
hard work, their acting skills, their singing skills. It depends on who their producer is, who they're working with, the other actors, singers they're working with. Are they as nice as they are?
Hmm.
So it
Hmm.
depends on the whole team.
Right. So you talked about all of this teamwork that goes into a performing arts career, maybe, right? Do you think these side actors that sort of they're not highlighted enough, such as the makeup artists, the lighting technicians, the support staff, stage staff, and if we're specifically talking about an acting performance, do you think these people they have a role to play in the success of a musician?
Definitely. Like the stunt people, like in all the famous movies, action movies, like blockbusters, they just go unnoticed. If they weren't there, like who would do all of these, like flying off of buildings and running out into like fires or something? So the real actors don't do this because there's risks. Like they might get harmed in that, but they're professionals and they just don't go noticed.
Right, right, right. So, I mean, you see, there was a time when there was like a boom of concerts and of theaters, but you must have seen that with the popularity of these streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon, HBO Live, people they're not really interested in these physical forms of performing arts categories like there's the culture of going to the theaters or watching live performances or maybe the concerts it's sort of fading out and things are moving towards a digital or virtual platform. Do you think in future the entertainment would just be digital?
I don't think it would just be digital, but I would definitely think like going to a real life event would be more of and like something to like an elite experience, like something only a few people can do because it
Hmm,
would just
hmm.
not be that regular. And then the people who do go do this stuff, they're just like, wow, they went and did this. that sort of
Right.
thing.
Right.
Because nothing
So
can totally be eradicated. So
exactly. So it's gonna be like a mix of in-person entertainment and digital, right?
yeah,
All right. Perfect.
but digital would definitely be more common.
Hmm. Interesting. So, this was it. What are your takeaways now?
I think uh I don't know. I should
Mhm.
just not go
Just not go for
to the exam.
for the exam?
Yeah, this is oh, this is the entertainment industry. Something I'm used to. Something I see, and I can't talk about it. Like, what would I do if I get some a prompt that I don't even know, like football?
Uh, okay. We're gonna practice a lot of prompts, by the way, and I'll share some supporting resources as well that can sort of help you in building up conversation on topics that you're not aware of. This is the technique that we need to learn. Okay, I mean, there's a chance that you might get a topic that you don't know of, so we need to learn this technique. Again, I think you did fine in this conversation, so you should not like, okay, I don't want to go. We'll prepare. Okay. What I want you
Okay.
to do now is this. I'm going to share this entire resource, this entire paper. Go through all of these prompts and see if you can come up with your thoughts. And for practice, you may just keep writing notes as well. See what you can come up with on these topics. For better understanding, maybe write 5 points each rubric point over here. In form of short notes, and see, just try to speak them out. Stand in front of a mirror and see how well you can speak out whatever you write. Go through all of these prompts, and I'll keep sending you paper every day so you can have a multiple topics to prepare on. Okay, this way
Okay.
you'll be trained to think on these prompts. नहीं है समझ आ रहा,
Yeah.
सोचे बैठ के. Don't just Google right away, लेकिन हाँ, if you get stuck, you can Google क्योंकि it'll just give you an idea, right? And you may even get trained to think in that manner. Okay,
Okay.
so this is
This
it for the
definitely works
class.
because
Sorry.
yeah. I said this definitely works because when I was doing reviews, I didn't know how to do a review, so I just wrote down two like most frequent reviews, like going to a restaurant and giving a review, and just going to an event and giving a review, and then
Hmm.
I just wrote down all of those points, and then whatever review came up, I just in just inputted those points in that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That really helps. And you can use ChatGPT for help as well. Just input the entire prompt and ask ChatGPT to frame a conversation and provide you written transcript of that. And go through the transcripts.
Yeah, I
It'll
was
really
so
help.
okay.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
I was like so tempted to do that right now, but I was like, no, that's cheating.
No, 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 not in class. Do this after
Yeah,
class,
because
okay?
I would have ChatGPT over there, and I'm like, just do it right. Don't do it. Do it. Don't
Yeah,
do it.
please. No, 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 no. This is just a suggestion that you can use after these classes, okay, for extra help.
Okay.
And you can use these classes to test yourself and see how well you do each time you come after a set preparation. All right. Chala.
Okay.
I'll see you tomorrow. That's it for the day. Okay.
Okay. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.